What's up, you guys? It's your boy Cthulhu, and guess what? It's Banlist season, so I figured let's bring a Banlist prediction video. What I might think might be happening on the next Banlist. We have a couple YCSs coming up, and a reprint set coming out soon. We have a YCS Vegas on the 15th of March, Buenos Aires on the 29th of March, Houston April 15th, and Mexico City April 19th. We also have Quarter Century Stampede dropping on your OTSs on the 9th, and then full launch on the 11th. And that being said, I'm thinking we might get this new ban list at Vegas, just because I think there might be a couple cards that might come off the forbidden list that are getting reprinted in Quarter Century, so that would help sell the set. I mean, it could even be the 29th of Buenos Aires, but I think a month built up some hype for the reprints that would be coming off the ban list. So let's get right into it. I'm just honestly going to start off with, I think, some of the more obvious ones. And that's the things that kind of went semi-limited on the last list. Things like Cyberjar here going to unlimited. Things like the Dangers. Oh, not there. There we go. Both these Dangers, we have Jackalope and the Shigomi, or however you pronounce it. I think Eva goes unlimited. The Monkey Board goes unlimited as well. I think these are just non-discussion. I think they're just going down that natural progression. Limited, semi-limited, unlimited. So I don't think these are really talking points. Of course, they could always skip some of these and put them on a future ban list unlimited, like they kind of did with Pankratops. Pankratops kind of like went semi-limited, sat on semi-limited again, next list, and then went unlimited, which was kind of weird, but it is what it is. So I figured by starting out saying this format has felt pretty healthy. Obviously, there's always going to be toxic things about every format, but this format has felt so much better and a lot more fun compared to like Snake Eyes format. Yes, you have Malice and Ryzeal, they're the best decks, but they still feel fair, right? It's still like it's not like a blowout. You can play a rogue deck and still win. And that saying, like, I don't think there's too much they have to do to this format. They just have to tweak it a little bit just to bring like some silliness down. But other than that, there's not too much. I figure we'll start with Malice. And talking about Malice, I think what we're gonna do is we have Bestial Druis Worm here. He probably should have been limited a long time ago. He's pretty discussing the fact that he's gonna banish something out of your graveyard. If you use him the normal way, you're gonna banish something out of your opponent's graveyard, get him on the board, blink him off, and then send something else. He just kind of does a little too much for one guy. And the fact that Malice can also just abuse him as an extender is pretty gross. So I think with Druis Worm, we're finally going to get him at limited. Also with Malice, I think they are getting more cards, so the deck is going to get better. So I think future-proofing it, you just hit a tiny bit of consistency. I think we also limit Allure of Darkness. Again, just like another free extender, draw 2 and extend. It's just way too much. I think you can argue even just banning the card until Malice eventually gets hit, but right now we'll just put it at limited. And then I think they finally lock up our boy Nightmare Griffin. I know he was abused a little bit during like the yugioh format a little bit, but I think this is where the buck stops for him. I think this is where they hit the generic extra deck stuff for Malice at the moment. And then honorable mention, I thought honestly this card was easily getting banned on the list, but after announcing possible new artwork in the future for it, I know it's only the OCG right now, and obviously it's different from the TCG, but I that new artwork's gonna come to the TCG because people are gonna want to buy it up like hotcakes. Access Code Talker at the moment is a card that should be banned, but I'll put him in honorable mentions. Again, he's another guy where he just enables too much that he's not supposed to. He's obviously going to be popping cards on the field and rezzing back Malice monsters in the same, in the same effect, it's just too much. Again, they could ban him, because again, we aren't the OCG, but they're gonna want to sell the new Art of Access Code Talker down the road. In terms of yugioh, again, like, I don't think they're gonna hit anything archetype wise for these best decks. They're just gonna hit the generic stuff. So I think we're gonna get a Dweller ban. That way, it opens up our graveyards, and we can just still push with Ultimate Slayers on the detonator and things like that. We'll hit the consistency a bit, just like get out of here. Just like hitting Allure, we're gonna limit Bonfire. This one has been a long time coming because of Snake Eyes format. I know it took a while because people got to get their cheap reprints. Now they got their cheap reprints. It's time for it to get hit. I think that's all you really do with the yugioh stuff right now. Again, you don't want to kill these decks at the moment because there's still more support coming out. And again, the format isn't super toxic. So you just hit some of the consistency, you just hit some of the generic stuff. Which brings us to Fiendsmith, everyone's favorite archetype. I think you start off... honestly, I'm not a big fan of hitting Fiendsmith in general. The only thing I'm really a fan of hitting, and I think will get hit in the next list, is banning Wave King Caesar. It just allows your opponent, your opponent making Caesar for free, basically, with this engine, and then opening up the rest of the other engine without having to be punished by Nib, unless they open like a combo Nib, Veil or Nib Imperm. It's just too much. I think in the future this will be an honorable mention. I think the correct hit to Fiendsmith in general is Moon. I don't think they're gonna hit Moon, just because they just gave us a super reprint for the OTS. I mean, Konami could do Konami things and be weird, but I don't think they would have given us a super reprint if they were going to ban this card so soon. I think it's a card that will be banned down the road, but at the moment, I'll just put Moon in honorable mention. And like I said, I think this is the correct card to hit before anything else. It just makes Moon just makes Fiendsmith way too splashable in every other deck. Hitting this would make Fiendsmith not as splashable and more along the line, putting more along the lines of actual Fiend like pile decks or just other Fiend archetypes. Engraver will be another honorable mention. I know everyone, would like this card hit, put the 1. My only issue with this card going the 1 is because all the boss monsters and everything revolve around this one specific card. Like, you need to use Engraver to make the other monsters. So if number one, you can't ban Engraver unless you just want to kill it. People still need to pick up their reprints. And the other thing is, I think even putting it at 1 with things like Bestials or even like a DD Crow, let's just say, you banish this one copy and now your whole thing's dead. Like, I just don't think Engraver's the correct hit. I think, like I said, Moon's the correct hit. So I'm gonna put this in honorable mention. It'll probably get hit down the road, but I think that's just the wrong choice. It's not a super toxic engine. It's a fun engine. It's just toxic that it can just freely make Caesar. Other than that, I think you hit Moon and then it's just less splashable. We have the Moulin Glacia for the Mermails. This is a card that can go, honestly. I mean, I've never been hit by it. I haven't played against much Mermails, but just reading the card and just knowing how like gross Mermails can be, and then just also, besides building disgusting boards and being able to push through boards with just engine, the fact that they just get a hand rip as well, it's just too much. It doesn't need to be there. You can just ban it. Cards I think could be coming off the ban list. I think Zodiac Trident will be coming limited. We got Barrage off the ban list at 1. I think they bring this. Barrage is something I could have put here as semi-limited, to be honest with you. Wasn't thinking about it too much, but I think we start with Trident at 1. I think we finally get Heavy Storm back at 1. OCG's had it for a bit. I mean, it's just Harpies. The only thing is it makes Unchained pretty gross. You can do some combos with Unchained with it, but besides that, like, it's just another Harpies or Lightning Storm. This is one of the Quarter Century Stampede reprints, and I think we're going to get it at 1 is Masterpiece. It's a tower, but it can come off. Honorable mention, Summon Sorceress. I think this card goes to 1 if they announce it for Stampede. If this is not in Stampede, it just stays banned until we get the errata. So I'll just keep it honorable mention. Again, if we get the announced reprint, limited. And then I just think we get a couple cards move to semi-limited. I think we get Change of Heart to semi-limited. I mean, we already have steel cards. What's bumping this, to 2 at this point? People still might not even play it anyway, even at 2. So I don't think there's a problem with that. And this one's kind of a long shot, but maybe this is the time they put Misk to 2. It's pretty toxic, but they could probably just get away with it now. So in conclusion, again, I think this format is pretty healthy, and there's not too much you have to do to fix it at the moment. I think with these small changes, it'd be even better. Hopefully Konami does something along these lines and doesn't just do something at it like super crazy that just like ruins everything. But I think with these small changes, some of the more relevant meta decks will come down a little bit, even though they're getting more support. But you're hitting more of the generic stuff like we did in the past with other meta decks like Snake Eyes, where we hit like Borreload, Apo, Barone. So it's more in line with what they've always done, and it honestly does help. Like, yeah, the engine and the archetype is still strong, but it's strong within its own archetype. It's not just making like generic end board pieces that enable the actual archetype to do better, if that makes any sense. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, hit that bell. If you're subscribed, you get the noties. Thank you guys, and have a good day.